Today, as usual, we're going to have our presentation. For people who are used to seeing a lady doing the presentation, today we are having the other gender. So this evening, Kanya Tagata, known as Kes, is the one who will be doing the presentation. Kanya is not new to network marketing. He has a 10 years experience in the industry. He started way back in 2015 and has been very successful in the companies that he has been with in the past. And now the wife decided to join. He's married to a wonderful lady, Sihle Kakata, who is also very good in organizing things for us in this group. Kanya is not only good in doing network marketing. You know, Drew, I'm afraid of dogs, but I like your dog. So Kanya Takata is not only good with network marketing, he's good with making money in network marketing. He has been able to make a lot of money, and he has won trips. We went to the Maldives together in 2021 because of the hard work. And sometimes he can be a slave driver, but he works very hard and he loves network marketing. You know, he didn't know that he could be good in network marketing until I forced him to join network marketing in 2015. But now he has surpassed me. He's working harder than I am, and he is more successful than I am. So he will, this evening, he will share the tips for his success, and he will also help us to grow in the business of network marketing. Over to you, Kanya.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Maglags, for that generous introduction. And I especially like the part that talks about you forcing me into this, because sometimes we don't know what's good for us. Sometimes we reluctantly or go into things kicking and screaming, and it turns out to be the very best decision that we take to concede to people that at the moment or at that moment know much better than you. I want to talk first, before I jump straight into the presentation, about the Legacy Project. Really, the Legacy Project is our vision and our mission that we have, which is to patch 100,000 people. You get to find out why we're so passionate about patching 100,000 people. Because for us, really, the Legacy Project talks about rewriting our story when it comes to our health and well-being, but also rewriting our story when it comes to finances. You know, a lot of people that are on this call today are focused on their work, their jobs, or their businesses, and we're able to generate and make money from them. But we're saying part-time, let's find a way over time of generating and making a fortune. So let me share my screen with you so that we can jump straight into it here. And welcome to all the people. That is their very first time on this call. We want to see on the chat, if it's your very first time on the call, if you can put the number 1, so that we know who is on here for the very first time. Okay, so the question that we start by asking is, have you been patched yet? And the reason we ask this is that we have experienced and are experiencing with this incredible product that I'm going to share with you, an elevation and an activation and a regeneration of dormant stem cells in the body. You'll get to hear why that's so important. But let me tell you first about David Schmidt, who is the founder, CEO, and inventor of the X39 patch. The X39 is a patch not larger than a 5 Rand coin. Now, David Schmidt is really a scientist and an inventor. He has over 200 patents. You know, his specialty is age reversing, not anti-aging, but age reversing. as far back as 2008, David started focusing on what was then a new sort of area of innovation, which is stem cell research. And it took him 10 years, $4.5 million to bring this product to the market. But he's no stranger to inventing health technology. And it started over 20 years ago because back then he was commissioned by the US Navy SEALs to come up with a patch that would help the SEALs survive what their intensive training that they call Hell Week. Now, very important because the US Army is a no drug organization. It had to be a non-drug product. It had to be all natural, and it had to help with speed, strength, and stamina. So he invented what we now know as the energy enhancer. That started his move into wearable health technology. And from that, the US Olympic swim team, which was practicing from Richard Quick's Stanford, 6 of his 8 athletes were able to, in training, break their own personal records because of that incredible patch. Now, then came the X39. This product is about 5 years old in the market. We have a 20-year patent. And essentially what it is it's light technology in a patch. Whether you call it phototherapy or photobiomodulation, if you're a medical doctor and you're on here, the X39 patch is the first and only one of its kind. And really the patent reads that it has been proven to elevate a particular copper peptide, which is called the GHKCU, that resulted in the activation of stem cells, the improvement of energy, and the elevation of antioxidants. Now, that's a whole lot of science for me because I don't have a science background, particularly a biology background. But what it actually means and what it has represented is a whole host of things that you'll hear about. The first part that's very interesting for us to remember is that the number one indicator of wellness is the number of adult stem cells in our bloodstream. Stem cells are the first cells, the basic building block, which is the defense against anything that attacks the body. Now, by the age of 30, 60% of our adult stem cells are lost. 60%, there's a 60% reduction by the time we reach 60, there's a 90% reduction. And all that means is that the fewer stem cells in the body, the faster you age, the slower you heal, the more susceptible you are to illness, the more susceptible you are to decay in your body. And that results in a whole lot of things. Now, here's how X39 works. It's a proprietary form of phototherapy. So the patch itself is patented nanocrystal technologies. It is a non-drug, non-chemical, non-stimulant patch. So the only material is organic material, amino acids, salt, that are stripped in a way, that are stranded together in a way that they reflect the light that radiates from our bodies. Okay? If you did not know, our bodies emit light, and the patch redirects that light in such a way or in such a frequency that it activates that peptide, which has been proven to elevate dormant stem cell, to give the body energy and to reactivate the production of including collagen in our bodies. The results of that is what we are starting to see as quite incredible for people's health and overall wellness. Some of those benefits that we have already started seeing is increased strength. I know, for example, before I started this, I'm married to someone who, is fanatical about the gym, but I used to be super lazy to go there. But I found that I have increased strength, increased sort of energy and vitality, a reduction in inflammation. We'll see some examples that might not look pretty on the screen, but there are case studies of people that are using the X39 patch in South Africa and in our global team. Mental clarity, improvement in sleep, almost every single person that we've given the patch to, within the first couple of days, there's an improvement in sleep, an improvement in skin. All the people that you see on your screen, you will notice something, and it's not coincidental that the skin, the appearance of skin is excellent. And these are some of the benefits of what happens internally when your body is reactivating and re-energizing dormant stem cells. The effect of that is an age reversing effect. Now, these pictures, some of them are not pretty, but they are necessary. This gentleman, who is the father of our sponsor and business partner in the US, had this inflamed leg that was oozing, nasty pus. They couldn't figure it out. They sent him to the Mayo Clinic. The doctors were like, you know what, you just need to get used to it. And even though we don't like to see this, the leg on the right was one patch. Now, it might not be one patch for you. I know people in our team that you'll hear about. Some it took weeks, some it took months. But the fact of the matter is that you are really about to step into an abundant season of miracles. On our right is our award-winning partner, who is a consistency king, Louis Owusu, who's out in Tata in South Africa, and his beautiful wife. On the before picture, they can't explain, but she had an allergic reaction, and for about 2 weeks, she had, swollen face and was generally like in pain and unhappy. Um, and and around that same time was when Louis was getting started in the business. And the after picture is 2 days after that. Like, a picture tells 1,000 words, and this is proof positive about what this patch can do. The hand on the left is as a result of the adverse effects of chemotherapy. This was a cancer patient. And the hand on the right, after continuous use of the patch, the repair that's taking place in that hand, you can only imagine the repair that's taking place internally. This is a friend of mine. The foot on the left is extremely swollen. It looks almost round. This was after like a tackle. This guy's a footballer. A tackle that almost broke his leg on the left. You can even on the right. 2 days later, you can start seeing the veins and the leg completely not swollen there. Here, I'll just let the pictures do the work for themselves. The before and afters here on 3 months of use of the X39 is truly, truly quite remarkable. We could go on and on for this. I know Drew and Carl's dog made an appearance earlier on. So if this dog could speak, it would tell us that 5 years ago she was clawed by another dog and lost a lot of vision in one of her eyes, and 7 months of use. The thing about pets is that if we are incentivized to kind of believe that this patch works because we're kind of marketers and we want it to work, dogs can't lie. And you see that dog can not see, and 7 months later on the patch, when they go to the vet, they can see. So we really love this example of really the wide use that we're seeing the patch work in. I won't go too much in the topography map here of a 70-year-old woman, but on the extreme left, you see red, which is a sign of inflammation, lack of coherence. 6 weeks later, a complete turnaround in the coherence and the balance of the brain. Now, here's how you wear the X39 patch. It is a little patch like you see on Sitle's right below her neck, and she can put it there. You can actually put the patch anywhere on your body. For our clinical studies, of which we have over 85, we put it right below the belly button and right on the spine, because that's where the control areas that was done. But the patch is systemic. You can put it anywhere. I usually put it on my wrist so that people see it and ask the question. But you put it on for 12 hours. We usually have it on by 7 p.m. So after this call, we take out our patch and throw it away. and then we let the body do its repair and rejuvenation overnight, and then we rinse and repeat that. It's super easy. What you want to be doing is you want to be drinking plenty of water, because the patch, as it's doing its work, it will want you to stay hydrated. Also take electrolytes. We love Celtic salt, but there's other electrolytes that you can get, like Himalayan salt. I know some people use Himalayan salt as well. So super, super easy to use. But here's some of the effects from our over 85 clinical studies. Within the first few days, over 4,000 of your genes begin to reset. Now, that can manifest itself in different ways. For some people, it's better sleep, lifting off the brain fog. For others, because it's genes that are resetting internally, you might not see the difference. But within 6 weeks, better brain balance. We see a lot of people talking about a lifting of the brain fog, feeling happier, less anxiety. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased. That's why you're seeing a lot of glow in people's skin. Within 6 months, clinically proven, to reverse the cardiovascular age by up to 5, 6, 7 years. This is not anti-aging, as David Schmidt has said. It's actually age reversing. Now, there's plenty of testimonies that we have from children to immune system to back problem and spines, stability. I want you to write this down or take a screenshot of this screen. This is itinfo.com. Make sure that you go there, go into the testimonials. You can read up on the science and the patent around it. But this is going to be your go-to resource to really see all the stories that we have generated from the use of this incredible patch. Here's what I want to do before I talk about opportunity. I'm going to give over to Sihle for her to bring up a few people so that you can hear stories from within South Africa of what the patch is doing for individuals and families across the country and across the continent.
Thanks, Cass. I'm really excited for our team and our guests to hear these testimonies. We really just put people on the spot so they could share them, and we are also hearing them for the first time. So I'd like to ask Drew if you can please share your testimony with everyone, and then right after Drew, Nosi. So yeah, you can unmute yourself, Drew.
Hi everyone. Thanks for the call. It's good to see everybody. Sure, I don't know. I had quite a few pain points that I was curious about solving. I think we've only been on the patches, I think, for about 2.5 months in total. We obviously started with the X39 first, and have now started using Eon and have started using a few of the other ones as well at the same time. But I think the biggest change that I've seen within myself, I had very bad sciatic pain down the right side of my lower body, obviously, and it was going down into my ankle and my heel, and I was really, I wasn't hobbling around, but it was pretty painful to walk. Like if I got up in the morning, it would be sore, or if I walked from the kitchen to the bedroom or whatever. And I think it took literally about a week and a half, and I noticed that the pain had completely gone. So that was the first thing, and it's still gone. I mean, it's a pleasure to actually walk around and sit, and movement is a whole lot better. And I'm not sure if it was related, but at the top of my thigh, in the front, I had about I would say 15 centimeter indent in my leg that was maybe a centimeter or two in depth, and it was quite wide, and it completely freaked me out. And I'd had this dent in my leg. It must have been for about 6 months or so. And the one day I felt, and it had completely disappeared.
Wow.
So I could it be related to the sciatic thing and the rebuilding of muscle and tissue or whatever? But it's completely gone. Yeah. Also a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Definitely less brain fog. I think the first week, actually the first couple of days since I had it on, since I started wearing it, I felt like I had a lot of energy to even do the things that I didn't want to do, like housework and things like that. I was like, okay, I just got up and did it, and there was no issue. So it definitely increased energy, and the mental clarity side was also incredible. Also with Carl, who's a serious skeptic, I would just pat him, much to his horror, and you can tell everybody what you experienced yourself.
Yeah, hello everyone.
Hi, Carl.
Hi, Carl.
Nice meeting everyone. Yeah, so I wasn't keen on the idea. I didn't see any relevance to how such a patch could do anything. And also, just being a realist, being like, wow, if it was the miracle patch that everyone that Drew was carrying on about, it would be in every sort of surgery room, operating room, hospital, doctor, and there'd be a lot more awareness around it if it was, everything it was set out to be. So I went into it very despondent, basically under Drew sticking me full of stickers. I called them noddy badges, and knowing that it's not going to do anything. So I had an accident with an angle grinder, took a nasty chunk out of my leg. It sort of overhealed, made a big keloid, which was quite high and risen. And first thing I realized, it was almost immediately, I'd say within 48 hours, that it actually reduced into a depression instead of being a keloid. It reduced into a depression, and I obviously was reluctant to believe it was the X39. So, but felt those changes, and then for months been suffering. I think from gout, maybe collection around my spine, something nerve related. When I sit, my complete right hand side would go numb, and I'd get a really sharp pain in my shoulder. To a point that I had to sit on the floor with my legs straight in order to do anything. And it also, and it was months that I'd sat with that issue, and nothing would resolve it. Painkillers wouldn't even take it away. And since Drew's been sticking me full of stickers, it dealt with that issue. It did. It most certainly
Wow.
came right. On the animal side, as you've seen the dogs, we're sitting on about 38 dogs in my organization.
Yeah.
And I've been working with dogs my whole life. And I know very well we spay a lot of the females, or all the females. We don't breed dogs, we work with dogs. So we spay all the females. And just knowing what recovery period is all about. Dogs get operated on, it's abdominal surgery. Takes around 7 days for the wound to start closing, and by day 14 you can remove stitches quite easily. And Drew applied it to a dog that we had spayed, and it was nothing short of a miracle. 48 hours.
Yeah.
We were completely closed, not starting, completely closed. Sort of the same results that one would see after 14 days in 48 hours.
Wow.
So that blew my mind. So that really blew my mind. We used it on another dog that had a tumor about the size of a tennis ball cut out of its neck. Ended up with about a 30 centimeter wound where they cut the tumor out. And Drew was like, we need to take this dog's stitches out. I was busy. And I was like, wow, man, it's been like 3-4 days, just relax. We've got like another 10 days to deal with it. And then, also just forced the issue. No, we've got to get this dog stitches out. So I went to get the dog stitches out, and it actually overhealed, that the skin had actually closed over the top of the stitches. And it was a real challenge to get the stitches out. But again, I'd say about 14 days worth of healing in as little as 3 to 4 days. So, I'm not one to give testimonies. I hate selling things that I don't know anything about, and I don't like new things. I'm quite solid in my ways, but really on results and 100% proof in what I've witnessed. I'm a firm believer, and it's an incredible product. Daughter in Cape Town just got a deep vein thrombosis.
Yeah.
That now. Yeah, it's the second time she's got it shamed. She got it when she was 19. It's come back now at 23. She's also a bit of an extremist, diving and free diving, and was in Antarctica and stuff last year, and it really just hampers everything. So I'm going to send some down to her to see what happens. And then I've got a lot of people in wildlife. We've got a little pit bull terrier that's completely paralyzed.
Wow.
They've been busy with these fine movements. Not my dog, it's a friend of mine's that does animal rescue. And they open their hearts to this little dog. They carry it around with them everywhere. They got to spoon feed it and help it to defecate and urinate. It's a really sad story. They've been trying everything, and they've slowly got a bit of muscle movement back. It can now sort of lie flat and lift its head to some point. And it's been like this since we met them 3 years ago. So it's the recovery's been hardly none. So we're definitely going to stick it full of patches and also get some further testimony on it, and keep opportunities. We've got someone now that's a good friend of mine that works with horses. So we're going to be trying it on horses. I've motivated it to a lot of people. I've got a friend with arthritis. I've got a friend who just had a heart attack. And yeah, we're going to keep using it and keep seeing the results, man. And it's some miracle stuff.
Yeah.
Wow, that really is a miracle. Thank you so much, Drew and Carl, for sharing your testimony. Teresa always says it literally would be a crime if we weren't to share these stickers, like you said. And I'm so grateful that Drew was insistent and she really put those on you because you have so much relief. It's such a blessing. Thank you so much once again to you both for sharing your testimony with everyone. I want to call Nosi, and I just want to say, I don't know, Kaz, but Nosi is our sixth manager in our team with the Legacy Project. So congratulations to you. I can't wait for you to just get to even, the top of the toppest rank at LifeWave. So if you can share your testimony with everyone, and we will get back to the money side of this opportunity call. Over to you, Nosi.
Good evening, everyone.
Evening.
Hi, Claire.
I'd like to start by expressing my sincere gratitude to everyone who congratulated me on reaching this level of my manager. You'll bear with me, guys. I'm so excited. I'll share my testimony. Your support means a lot to me, family. And also want to give a special thanks to Uluwati, who introduced me to this wonderful business. My leaders, a huge thank you, all the leaders who consistently make themselves available to train us. For me, this is just the beginning of my dreams.
Wow.
I remember when Ken called me, it was during the weekend, and I was at home and told me, "Tata, you just need one active person to become a manager." I was so excited I couldn't sleep. It was like a dream. There's a worship song that says, when God intervenes, it's like a dream.
Wow.
So, guys, I will share my testimony. Thank you so much. Um, for a long time, I suffered from low iron, which meant I could never donate blood. Even though blood drives happened monthly at my workplace, I always opted out knowing my situation. But last week, the blood donation team was back, and I decided to try again, especially since I've been using the X39 patch. To my absolute surprise, I was so shocked. After they checked my iron levels, I was cleared to donate. I even double-checked asking, "Are you sure my iron is fine and I can donate?" The nurse confirmed, "Yes, yes, it's fine. You can donate the blood. Your iron is fine." So that is my testimony.
Wow.
I am healed.
Wow.
Guys, these batteries are truly working wonders.
Wow.
So thank you, Siphe.
Thank you so much, Tete Nosi. Sometimes we call her Tete, for sharing your testimony. And congratulations once again. I will hand it over back to Kaz so he shares the money part of this call. Over to you, Kaz.
All right, thank you so much, Sika. Firstly, thank you so much to everyone that shared. That was remarkable. Drew and Carl, I especially like the skeptics the skeptic's testimonial, because you can never buy a skeptic's testimony. It either works or it doesn't work, and they are straight shooters. So part of the reason why we were so expansive about our vision and mission to patch 100,000 was that I too had started to become sort of a skeptic, because I've been involved in health products for quite a while, and I didn't want to build the business. I told my mom and dad that, listen, I'll support you guys as you start this thing, but I'm no longer really in the industry right now. And I gave it a test to say, if it works on my back, I've had back problems for over 10 years because I was involved in an accident. In fact, maybe let me clarify. I was the accident, because a taxi and me met 50-50, and the taxi won that round. But but I used it in my back, and when I started getting relief after 5 days, I was in disbelief, because, like you were saying, Carla, I said, you know what, it can't be this patch. It has to be something else. But eventually, when the results started coming in, and Sita had results with the anxiety, I knew that we had something that is massive. And I say this as a segue into the opportunity part, because there really is opportunity to this. Else we would not be on here Tuesday and Thursday to give a platform for people to see the bigger picture of the products and the testimonies, and then share with them that, I mean, LifeWave is a 20-year-old company. There's something unique that's happened, that LifeWave has that most companies don't have, is that it's a 20-year-old company, so it's debt-free, it's been around, it's not a startup. Open in over 75 countries. I think now the number's over 80. It's not a Me Too product. Because of the patent, because we know that we're the only ones that own this technology as LifeWave distributors, we are not really competing with other companies. We have our own blue ocean strategy that we have. As a result of that, if you look at the revenue from 2021, which is around the time that the X39 was launched, it was $20 million for that year. It's grown over the 4-year period to over $600 million. Now, you have a growth company that is number one in terms of momentum in the channel, the direct sales channel, or what people call network marketing. For 2 years in a row, they've won the growth company award, the Bravo Award, for 2 consecutive years. So you have that company on the one side, and you have this industry of the stem cell therapy. Now, if you know anything about stem cells, you know that they cost tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of rands to get an injection. You're not sure about the efficacy of that injection. The effects of it are not long lasting. Now you enter into a space where that's a $200 million industry that is projected to grow sort of 15-fold to $300 billion, and you have a winning formula. When you're looking at a business, or where you're looking at an opportunity, you want something that's in growth, and you want something that is in vogue, so something that people are currently looking at right now. So in this last 5 minutes, I want you to remember, what is really important for you. Is it family and their health? Is it time freedom? Is it security? Is it travel? Is it better health? Is it less debt? We're all on this call today because we come from different walks of life, whether we have our, jobs and 9 to 5s, whether we have our businesses, whether we work online, whether we work offline, whether we work in an office, but we know that there's certain things that we want for our lives that currently our situation doesn't allow for. We have a simple system for us. Show the video, or show people the link to our calls on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. We share the stories in terms of testimonies. We have live testimonies like we had today. We also have the This Is It team, thisisit.info.com, where we share the stories there, and we connect that person to a leader, connect them, let them know how to get started, the conversion of the dollar to the rand. It's a proven system. Show, share, connect. In that show, share, connect system, the important thing is that we're trying to connect with people that are at this moment resonating with our product or resonating with our opportunity. Some won't resonate, and that's okay. But the system works, and it allows for us to be able to do this very efficiently and part-time, kind of grow this business model. Like, I'll break this down fairly quickly, but you can take a screenshot because we usually like to keep these calls 30 to 40 minutes. The core pack of how you get started, the core pack is our entry point into the business. The core pack is around 6,400 rands, gives you 90 patches. And if someone gets started on a core pack for 6,400, your product introduction bonus, the company recognizing you for your service of talking about this, is 595, right? The advanced is 11,200. It gets you 180 patches. Your product introduction bonus there is 1,275. The premium pack, and you can upgrade on these packs. You can start at core and upgrade to premium. You can start at core and upgrade at advanced. You can start at advanced and upgrade to premium. The premium is around 36,000 if it's your first, but if it's your second, I think that number is around 29,000, depending on the exchange rate. And that gets you 600 patches or even more if you combine them. And that keeps you active for 3 months. The starter pack is not really a business pack, but it's for what we like to promote for people who want to be product users. That's around 2,700 rands the first time around, and then 2,400 rand every time you want to buy a patch. Importantly, this means that you're now actively involved in the business and you can build in the business. The business works like this, and this is a 30-second tutorial in the how this business model works. This business model pays you for the promoting regular, continuous use of product, of a company, and of products that you believe in. That's all. If you understand that about direct selling and network marketing, over time, that networked effect of people that you know, we've heard testimonies of people saying, I know a friend that recently had a stroke. I know people that are involved in wildlife. That kind of thinking is the thinking that promotes and builds your binary commission. Up to $100 or 1,700 rands a week if you're less than a manager in bronze. But at manager level, you can get paid in the binary up to 25,000 rand a week. Now, let me be very clear. It's not when you hit manager, but because of the growth that can happen at manager, it can go up to that all the way to senior president or director. The third way of getting paid is the generational matching bonus. I want to equate this to royalty income. One of the things that happened is the little kid, if you've watched The Lion King, that kid sang that song and the parents were offered, I think, $2 million. They rejected that and they said, we'd rather take a royalty income, which means every time that song plays, every time that movie is aired, they get a little portion, a small percentage of that. That's what the generation matching bonus is that because you introduce someone, because Lwati introduced Tlekle, and Tlekle built an organization, at the first level, when you're a manager and above, you can get 25% matched on whatever Tlekle is making in that week as a binary. So if she makes $100, that's $25 to the sponsor, and that goes all the way to the third level. Okay, the retail profit, we've talked about this. On average, we spend about 70 rand a patch to get our own patches, and then when we sell them, we're averaging at a 30% retail profit. The fifth way is the incentive trips. The incentive trips is just a collection of points that you get from the business activity that you are already doing. We are very due right now in July for an announcement for the next trip. They usually run over 4 or 5 months where you can qualify over that time. And those trips take us all around the world. The last one for the Europe, Middle East, and Africa region was to Croatia. So what we're going to be doing as a legacy project is we're going to be hyper-focused in making sure that at least 20 to 25 of the people that put their hands up will build our businesses in such a way that we qualify for the incentive trips. So I've already gone through the numbers and converted them into rands. Highly, highly important for you to be monthly active. It's really the cost of keeping the lights on. The great thing about it is that our overhead is actually products that we use and products that we can on-sell as well. So for everyone who's not a manager, the minimum is one sleeve subscription, but the second you hit manager and above, on a 2 or more sleeve subscription for our own personal use, but also for sales purposes as well. So yeah, I want to end it off with this before I give it to Sitla to close for us. This is really true, is that the richest people in the world look for and build networks. Everyone else just looks for work. The power of the network is that all of us are on this call today. Nearly 30 of us, if you include the couples that are on the call. We're on here because you are in someone's network. Someone saw fit to connect you with this opportunity, to connect you with this product. There's real wealth in building with a network of like-minded individuals who have a focus on their health, who have a focus on their finances. And that's really how wealth is created. So super, super excited about seeing this group of people that is on this call grow from this 30 to 300 to 3,000 and really take a chunk of the Africa market and globally, because we exist in over 80 countries. Yeah, that's really what this opportunity about, and I cannot wait to keep celebrating people as they achieve big things. Over to you, C.
Thank you so much, Kaz, for sharing this wonderful opportunity with our guests and our leaders here on the call. I just want to thank Carl and Drew for sharing their wonderful testimony, as well as Nosi for your testimony, and congratulations once again. Please make sure you get back to the person that invited you on this call. They will walk you through the currency conversion rate from the dollar to the rand or wherever you are located. And just like how somebody invited you on this call, you too can invite like-minded people to these calls. We have them every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. And, you guys would be a part of our mission to get 100,000 people patched in the African continent. So yeah, make sure you get back to the person that invited you. And we also really can't wait to see you guys at our 1 year convention in Johannesburg on the 28th and the 29th of November. I just want to read something from Paul C. Brunson. It says, growth really comes from staying in the same place. It comes when you step into what you don't know, when you choose courage over comfort, curiosity over fear, that uneasy feeling you get when you're trying something new. That's the signal you're expanding. That's the beginning of transformation. So trust the process, lean into the uncertainty. There's beauty waiting on the other side. I just want to thank you all once again for getting on this call. I don't know, Kaz, if you want to say anything before we wrap up.
No, that's all for me. Thank you so much, guys. This was such an energizing call, and congratulations again to Tete hitting the rank of manager, and we can't wait to celebrate many more people that hit that rank.